Hello children, let us begin with the story The Little Match Girl. It is written by Hans Christian Andersen. He was a Danish writer best known for his fairy tales. So he is from Denmark and he is very popular for his fairy tales. However, his stories are not restricted to children alone and have themes of universal appeal that transcend age and culture. So his stories are not only meant for the children alone, but they have themes of universal appeal that go beyond the age groups and the culture of different places. Andersen had a very unhappy childhood, and much of his stories reflect this sadness dealing with loss and death. So Andersen, he had a very unhappy childhood, and many of his stories they talk about this sadness that he felt during his childhood because of loss and death. The Little Match Girl is one such. So this story is one such very sad story which reflects his sadness. Set around Christmas, the story tells of a little girl who, unable to sell her matchsticks, dies of cold and hunger on the street even as people are celebrating the birth of the Christ child inside their warm, cozy homes. So this story is set around the time of Christmas, and it is about a little girl who's not able to sell her matchsticks, and she dies of the cold and hunger. So while people are celebrating Christmas, she dies. The tale is rich in irony, imagery, and symbols, emphasizing the need for compassion for those who have so much less than we do. So, this story has a lot of irony, a lot of imagery. There are a lot of that is the mental pictures, and a lot of signs are used, which lay stress that we need to show some compassion. Now, compassion is to have to understand the pain and suffering of another person and try to relieve the person of that pain. So we should try to be compassionate and understand the situation of some people who are in a worse situation than us. So The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen. It was bitterly cold, snow was falling, and darkness was gathering. For it was the last evening of the year, it was New Year's Eve. So it was extremely cold outside, the snow was falling, and darkness was gathering, means it was getting dark, as it was the last evening of the old year, means it was 31st of December. In the cold and gloom, a poor little girl walked bareheaded and barefoot through the streets. So, in this cold and gloomy, sad weather, a poor little girl was walking on the road. She had nothing on her head. She was bareheaded. She had no slippers in her feet, and she was walking through the streets. She had been wearing slippers, it is true, when she left home. But what good were they? So when she left home, she had been wearing slippers, but they were useless. They were not of any good. They had been her mother's, so you can imagine how big they were. So what good they were means she was wearing her mother's slippers, and her mother's slippers were very big for her. So they were useless for her in a way. The little girl had lost them as she ran across the street to escape from two carriages that were being driven terribly fast. So the little girl, she lost them while she was across the street. When she tried to escape, two carriages were coming from the opposite direction and they were being driven very fast. So she tried to run away to safety, and while running she lost her slippers. One slipper could not be found and a boy had run off with the other. So out of those two slippers, she could not find one, and the second one was carried off by a boy, saying that it would come in very handy as a cradle someday when he had children of his own. So he carried off the other slipper, saying that it would become very handy, means that slipper would be very useful to him and it would serve as a cradle. Cradle is a small bed on which the babies are kept. So it will serve as a cradle for someday when he had children of his own. So the little girl walked about the streets on her naked feet, which were red and blue with the cold. So the little girl, she was walking around on the streets barefooted, wearing nothing on her feet, and because of the extreme cold, her feet turned red and blue. Her old apron She carried great many matches and she had a packet of them in her hand as well. So she was wearing an old apron, and in that apron she had many matches, and she had a packet of matches in her hand also. Nobody had bought any from her, and no one had given her a single penny all day. So no one had bought a single match box or matchsticks from her, and she had not even earned a single penny. Penny means a single coin that day. She crept along shivering and hungry, the picture of misery, poor little thing. So she kept on, crept means she kept on moving slowly along the roads. She was shivering with cold and she was very hungry, and she was a true picture of misery, really terrible situation, suffering from the cold and hunger. Poor little thing. The snowflakes fell on her long golden hair, which curled so prettily about her neck. So the snow was falling, so the snowflakes, they fell on her beautiful blonde hair. It was curled hair, and she looked very beautiful with the hair falling on her neck. But she did not think of her appearance now, but she was not even bothered about her appearance at this present moment, because she was fighting with the cold and hunger. Lights were shining in every window. She could see bright lights shining in every window of every house. And there was a glorious smell of roast goose in the street, for this was New Year's Eve and she could not think of anything else. And while she was walking on the street, there was a wonderful smell of roasted goose coming in the street. Now, roasted goose, it is a water bird, the domesticated water bird, just like a duck. So roasted goose smell was coming in the street because it was New Year's Eve. People were enjoying and she could not think about anything else. She huddled down in a heap in a corner formed by two houses. She was feeling so cold that she quickly sat down. She gathered her body together and she sat down as a heap. She bundled up in the corner, which was formed by two houses, one of which projected further out into the street. So one of the houses, it extended, projected means extended further out into the street than the other. But though she tucked her little legs up under her, she felt colder and colder. So she was sitting all huddled up. She had folded her legs under her body, but to feel a little warm, but still she was feeling very cold. She did not dare go home. She did not dare to go back home, for she had sold no matches and earned not a single penny. She did not dare to go home because she did not sell any matches and she had not earned even a single coin that day. Her father would be sure to beat her, and besides, it was so cold at home. So she was sure that her father would beat her because she did not manage to sell even a single matchstick. She did not earn even a single penny. And besides, she did not want to go home because the home was very cold, for they had nothing but the roof above them. So their house was a house in the namesake. It was just a roof over their heads, and the wind whistled through that, even though the largest cracks were stuffed with straw and rags. So it was a roof, but the wind, it moved inside. It was whistling through the holes, even the holes and the cracks in the roof. The biggest of the cracks, they had been filled in with the straw and rags. Rags are small pieces of old torn cloth. So the cracks had been filled up with straw and rags, but still there was wind whistling inside. Her thin hands were almost numb with cold. Numb means when your body parts, they become, any part of your body becomes so cold that you do not feel any senses. So her hands had turned numb with the cold. She could not feel any sense. If only she dared pull just one match from the packet, strike it on the wall and warm her fingers. So what she really wanted to, she wanted to be brave enough to take out one matchstick from the packet and to strike it against the wall and light it up, so that with the heat that would come from that burning matchstick, she would be able to warm her fingers. She pulled one out, scratch! How it spluttered and burnt. So she pulled out a matchstick from the packet. She just struck it on the wall and it spluttered. It started making that explosive sounds, and it started burning. It had a warm, bright flame like a tiny candle when she held her hand over it. But what a strange light! So that candle which she lit, it was warm. The flame was bright. It was just like a small candle. But the light coming from the matchstick was very strange. It seemed to the little girl as if she was sitting in front of a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. So here she sees her first vision, which she imagines. And what was it? That she is sitting in front of a big iron stove, and that iron stove had polished brass knobs. Knobs are rounded handles made up of brass. Now brass, it is a alloy of the two metals copper and zinc, yellowish colored, and brass ornaments. So that iron stove is decorated with brass knobs and brass ornaments. The fire burned so beautifully and gave out such a lovely warmth. So the fire in the gas stove, in the iron stove, it was burning beautifully, and it gave out great warmth. It was lovely, warming up her fingers. Oh, how wonderful that was! The child had already stretched her feet to warm them. So this vision was wonderful. It was beautiful. So the little girl, she stretched out her legs in front of her to warm her feet. 2. When out went the flame, the stove vanished, and there she sat with the burnt match in her hand. So she had stretched her feet to warm them up, but then out went the flame, the matchstick. The flame of the matchstick went out, and after the flame of the matchstick went out, the stove vanished, and she was sitting all alone over there in the cold street with the burnt matchstick in her hand. So the first vision, it disappears. She struck another. It burnt clearly, and where the light fell upon the wall, the bricks became transparent like gauze. So she struck another matchstick. Now this matchstick, it burnt clearly, and where the light from the matchstick, it fell on the wall across her, in front of her. There the bricks became transparent, just like a gauze. That is a thin network of wires. So she could easily see through that wall. She could see right into the room where a shining white cloth was spread on the table. So through that transparent wall, she could easily look right inside the room. And in the room, there was shining white cloth. In the room, she could see a table, and that table was covered with a white shining cloth. It was covered with beautiful china. So that table was covered with beautiful china dishes, and in the center of it stood a roast goose, and in the center of the table was the dish, that is the roasted goose, which was stuffed with prunes are dried plums, and apples, steaming deliciously. They were steaming. It was really looking very delicious, the prunes and the apples inside the roasted goose. And what was even more wonderful was that the goose hopped down from the dish. And what was most wonderful, that in the second vision, the little girl sees that the roasted goose, it jumped. Hopped means to jump down. It jumped down from the dish, waddled across the floor with carving knife and fork in its back. Waddled means to take short steps and walk side to side, just like a duck walks on the floor. And when it walked on the floor, it still had the knife, the carving knife, and the fork in its back. Waddled straight up to the poor child. It came straight, walking up, taking short steps to the little child. Then out went the flame, and nothing could be seen but the thick cold wall. So again, the second matchstick also went out, and now nothing was visible. Only you could see the thick and the cold wall. She struck another. another match, and suddenly she was sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree. Now she took out the third matchstick, and in the flame of the third matchstick, she sees the third vision. And what does she see now? That she was sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree. It was much larger and much lovelier than the one she had seen last year through the glass doors of the rich merchant's house. Now, in the vision, the Christmas tree that she sees under which she is sitting, it was much bigger and much more beautiful than the Christmas tree that she had seen the previous year peeping through the glass doors of a rich merchant's house. She was peeping through the glass doors of that merchant's house where she had seen this Christmas tree. 1,000 candles lit up the green branches, and gaily colored balls like those in the shop windows looked down upon her. So she's looking at the beautiful Christmas tree under which she visualizes herself sitting, and on that tree lots of candles, they lit up the green branches of the tree, and gaily means happily, beautiful multicolored balls were there on the Christmas tree, which she generally saw in the windows of the shop. The little girl reached forward with both hands. Then out went the match. So the little girl moved forward with both her hands in front of her, trying to catch hold of those multicolored balls. But as she did this, the match went out. So as the match went out, the third vision also disappeared. The many candles on the Christmas tree rose higher and higher through the air, and she saw that they had now turned into bright stars. Now what did she observe? That so many candles which were lighting up the branches of the Christmas tree, they rose higher and higher into the air, and they went right up in the heavens above, and all those candles, they turned into beautiful bright stars in the heavens. One of them fell, streaking the sky with light. One of them means one of those stars. It fell down from the sky. Streaking means when it fell down, it left a mark on the sky on its journey down. Now someone is dying, said the little girl, for her old grandmother, the only one who had ever been good to her, but who was now dead, had said, whenever a star falls, a soul goes up to God. So the little girl said to herself, someone is dying, because her grandmother had said, and her grandmother was the only one who really loved her, who had treated her well, but now she was dead. So her grandmother had told the little girl that whenever a star falls in the sky, it signifies that a person on the earth is dead, and the soul of that person is going up to the heavens. She struck another match on the wall. Once more there was light, and in the glow stood her old grandmother. So now she took out the fourth matchstick and she scratched it against the wall, and the matchstick, it burnt. It was lighted up, and in the light of that matchstick she could see her old grandmother. Oh, so bright and shining and looking so gentle, kind and loving. So she saw the vision of her grandmother. The grandmother was looking so bright, she was shining, and she was looking so beautiful, so kind, so gentle and so loving. Granny, cried the little girl, oh, take me with you. So she cried out to her grandmother and said, Granny, you take me along with you. I know you will disappear when the match is burnt out. You will vanish like the warm stove, the lovely roast goose, and the great glorious Christmas tree. She tells the vision of her grandmother that, Granny, take me along with you. She says, I know that you will also disappear as soon as this match it is burnt out. You will also vanish, just like in my previous visions, the warm stove disappeared. In the second vision, the lovely roasted goose, it disappeared. And in the third vision, I could not see the glorious Christmas tree. In the same way, you will also disappear. Then she quickly struck all the rest of the matches she had in the packet, for she did so want to keep her grandmother with her. So what she did is she quickly took out all her matches. She struck all those matches against the wall which were there in the packet, and she burnt them because she did not want her grandmother's vision to disappear. Just like the warm stove, the roasted goose, and the Christmas tree had disappeared, she did not want her grandmother's vision to disappear. The matches flared up with such a blaze that it was brighter than broad daylight. So when she lit up the bunch of those matchsticks, all the matchsticks, they started burning brightly with such a blaze, with such bright light that it seemed brighter than broad daylight. It appeared to be daylight. And the old grandmother had never seemed so beautiful or so stately before. And in the blaze of all those matches burning, her old grandmother, she looked so beautiful. She looked so majestic and so glorious that she had never appeared so lovely before. She took the little girl in her arms and flew with her high up, oh so high, towards glory and joy. So the grandmother took the little girl in her arms, and along with the little girl, she flew higher and higher into the heavens above, to the joy and the glory and the happiness of the skies. Now they knew neither cold, nor hunger, nor fear, for they were both with God. Now both the grandmother and the little granddaughter, they knew no cold. The little girl could not feel any cold, nor was she hungry. She was not afraid, because now they were with God. This means the little girl, she died, and her soul went into the heavens above with her grandmother. But in the cold dawn, in the corner formed by the two houses, sat the little girl with rosy cheeks and smiling lips, dead, frozen to death on the last evening of the old year. So it is the soul of the little girl that went up to the heavens along with her grandmother, but her body was still lying in that corner which was formed by the two houses. Her cheeks had turned red, but there was a smile on her lips. She was lying dead. She had been frozen to death on the last evening of the old year. That is on 31st of December. She died. The dawn of the new year rose on the huddled figure of the girl. So the 1st of January, that is the morning of the new year, rose over that huddled figure. That is the figure of that huddled up girl sitting in the corner which was made by the two houses. She was still holding the matches, and half a packet had been burnt. So she still had the matches in her hand, and half of the matches had been burnt. She was evidently trying to warm herself, people said. So when people came around on the street, they saw the dead body of the little girl. So they all passed there. They were discussing with each other and said that probably it appears that she was trying to keep herself warm by burning the matchsticks. But no one knew what beautiful visions she had seen, and in what a blaze of glory she had entered with her dear old grandmother into the heavenly joy and gladness of a new year. But none of those people who were looking at her dead body knew anything about the beautiful visions, the beautiful images that the little girl had seen when she had lit up the matches. And what a blaze of glory! And blaze of glory means a beautiful, bright, shining brightly in the light of that brightly shining light. She had entered into the heavens above along with her loving grandmother's soul, and she had entered the heavens where she is going to experience only joy and happiness of the new year. She is free from all kinds of fear. She's free from hunger. She's free from cold. She is in heavenly bliss with her grandmother's soul in the lap of God Almighty, who has nothing to give her except love and happiness and abundance. I hope the story is clear to all of you. Thank you.